Hi, and welcome to another What If. This one, you already know what it is. I'm not really sure what I'm going to name it because, it's the past me. Anyway, as you know, most of my What Ifs are, except for the Ben 10, the Ben 10 Alien one, are pretty dark. This one isn't an exception. The story starts off actually okay. Izuku lives a normal life like any other kid. Only difference is, he's supposed to live up to his family's expectations as a very powerful quirk user. And the only reason why he, you know, is being seen as that is because, his ancestors are actually pretty dang powerful quirk users themselves. Um, they were actually some of the people that some of the heroes that um, helped one of the original One for All users trying to defeat um, uh, All for One. But because of how powerful All for One is, it didn't really work. So they, even though that's you know, what happened, it doesn't mean that his family wasn't weak or anything. They were actually pretty dang powerful. Um, so how about we get to the story now? Uzuku, you know, throughout his time alive, people kept saying to him, I can't wait until you get your quirk. I wonder what it will be. Hopefully, it's as powerful as your ancestors. Little did they know it was a lot more powerful. It's so when he does get his quirk, it's one that nobody really understood at all. Um, it's a quirk that it's like he's practically God, but he can't alter reality. Um, so he can shift matter, like change it to his will. He can become. He's invincible. Um, he is as strong or even stronger than All Might. Probably even stronger than both All Might and All for One combined. Um, and he's also able to create weapons out of thin air. So he's pretty dang powerful, I gotta say, and he's also pretty dang smart. And the reason why this is supposedly a sad one is because um, Izuku, even though he's supposedly an incredibly powerful person, it's not like they immediately know how to use their powers. Like most kids, it just happens. But for him, he actually has to know how to use it. And so when he got it, and some people figured it out, an organization known as a World Serpent or just Serpent swooped in the middle of the night and took Izuku. And because of how powerful he is, like legit, he's got an infinite source of power. They put him in this type of bowl, well, not really bowl, this type of spherical object. Like it's something to harness his power. And what they're doing with that is they're actually using his power to energize or it's like it's like he's a living battery with an unending supply. Like think of a you get the idea. He's an unending supply of energy, and this organization has found a way to take that energy and use it for themselves. Um, and the only way that they could do it is if he's in this uh, if he's in this container or in this object. So they always have him in there, and because of how powerful he is, and he's practically invincible and stuff, he doesn't need to eat or sleep or anything. But he's kind of like in this sleeping state because um because he, if he's awake, he'll destroy the entire thing and find a way out. Or that's what they think, but the thing is, Izuku doesn't know how to use his powers at all yet. Another interesting thing is, though, is that it's not like it goes off instantly. Like, it's not like it randomly goes off. It is like any other quirk. He's not using it, so nothing happens. So it's really hard but interesting to understand at the same time. It's pretty cool. And so we'll start off the story actually now. So Izuku's in the egg like every other day, and he is thinking to himself, where am I? Because he's in his dream, and his dreams always change, but they also it's like a lucidish dream. He knows he's kind of dreaming, but he's not completely sure. But at the same time, another person with incredible powers is, in the midst of looking over the area to make sure no villains are attacking, but he picks up Izuku's brainwaves. Now, this person is practically MHA's version of Professor X. He's gonna kind of be he's kind of Aizawa. Like, he's legit Aizawa with a different power. Instead of him having to look at somebody, he has to concentrate enough to turn their quirk off. So it does put a mental strain on his mind, so he does have to stop once in a while. But he picks it up and he's like, holy crap, there's somebody out there that's as powerful as me. But he's actually powerfuler than him. But anyway, he decides to go and find the kid because he's like, this kid should definitely become a hero. So he gets there and he's like, wait, what is this place? It looks like a facility, which it is. So he goes up to the door, knocks on it, because of course he does. And somebody comes to the door and they say, oh, what do you want? He says, I felt somebody here. Is it alright if I go in and check? And they say, if you have a warrant. He says, I'm a hero. I am the warrant. So they say, okay, fine, come in. Because at the time, they're like, it's not like he knew Izuku was there, right? So they just let him in. And so he's looking around, and they see that he's getting closer and closer to Izuku, and they're like, holy crap, we've made a mistake. So he gets to the room, and he opens it up, and he's like, is there somebody in that? And they're like, no, man, there's nobody in there. Kind of trying to play it off at the same time. They're like, holy crap, if a hero finds out that we're using this kid for energy, we're screwed. So Aizawa said, because his name's still Aizawa and everything, he says, open it up. I want to see if it's true. And so they try and attack him instead. Aizawa is able to defeat him because he's still Aizawa. And so he opens it up himself, and he sees this kid, and he just sees a kid. And Izuku actually had to make himself clothes because he was actually kind of cold. So the clothes he's wearing is practically just a full body blanket type of suit. And so Aizawa goes over there and he picks him up, and he runs out and he contacts other heroes. So they come and they attack the place. And now Izuku's and this is during wintertime also because it's December now. It's December there. So Izuku's kind of just lying on the ground because Aizawa put him there, and he's just kind of like, everything's louder now. What happened? So he opens up his eyes and stuff, and he looks around, and he's changed his clothes now. They just look like regular civilians' clothes, and he's looking around. He's like, so this is what the outside looks like. I haven't seen it since I was 5. And so Aizawa sees him, and he's like, hey there, kid, are you alright? And Izuku says, I think so. I'm not really sure. Kind of acts just like Aizawa would. He's kind of calm and stuff. So Aizawa says, "Do you know where your parents are?" Izuku says, "No, I don't. Actually, I remember them. I don't know where they are, though." Thing is, because the serpents would, the serpents knew that Izuku's parents would call the police and stuff. They decided to kill them, and the best way they did it is they suffocated them to death so that it looks like they just died in their sleep. And so after, as Aizawa finds out after taking a blood sample of him, bringing it to the doctors and stuff, finding out who his parents are and knowing that they're dead, he decides to adopt Izuku. And so for the next 8, I'd say 8 years. I don't know if they're 15 or 14. I'm going to go with that. They're 15. So, yeah, 8 years. 8 years after that event, Izuku has been training with Mr. Aizawa to kind of harness his powers. Some things he's been able to create are shields, swords, capture tape, as well as he's been able to create shockwaves, plasma blasts. He's able to fly, able to read minds, laser beam eyes, because he's able to shoot out the energy from anywhere on his body. He's also been able to make a full suit of armor because they haven't actually tested his durability, and that will come up in a later part. Another thing is that Izuku is able to see through walls, somebody's lying, all that stuff. And so Izuku's kind of been kept on the low for a while because they don't want the same thing to happen again. And so Aizawa was like, "You should really go to UA with me." And Izuku's like, "Okay." So they keep training and stuff, and it's time for the UA entrance exam. He doesn't have to take the physical. He only has to take actually no, he takes both because this is Aizawa. He takes the written exam, and he passes with, he's like the top of it. Now it's time for the fighting one. Izuku's also incredibly fast, like light speed fast. He's still able to somehow see. I'll just say he's able to sense the energy in things, like the matter in them. So whenever he's going like supersonic and stuff, like faster than light, he uses his ability to sense matter because that's a part of him being able to control it, and he knows where everything is. So once the gates open, Izuku immediately goes into supersonic speed, takes out a sword and punches and also cuts every single robot in the entire thing, and all of them that were actually planned to be released after, if any of them were actually to be destroyed, and those were located underground. So he not only destroyed the ones that people knew about, he also destroyed the ones that people didn't know about. Some of the teachers actually didn't know because they weren't actually a part of the plan of it being built. So yeah, Zuko's got the top thing of that. Next thing I'm going to do, and that's going to be the last thing for this part, and then I'm probably going to do another, what if Izuku was the meta? Probably what if Izuku was, had the Omnitrix, or like had the same powers as Ben 10. Somebody asked me for Sonic and Sans Black. I'll have to search up Sans Black's power. If you guys know what it is, you guys can put it in the comments, because I'm more used to the original Sans. Sonic, he's just going to have super speed, like incredible speed, like everything moves incredibly slow. Think of the movie, the okay-ish movie. Think of how fast that was. Like everything was moving incredibly slow. It took like freaking fast. So yeah, let's just finish this part off, and then I'll make the Jedi one tomorrow and stuff. I gave you guys within a week, so you guys had time. Anyway, it's time for the first day of school. Um, Azubu's kind of just there to learn how to become a better hero and stuff. He's also there to learn how to use his powers. He kind of just learns to be more of a hero than anybody else in the school, and that's because they know how powerful Izuku is. They know how powerful he is more than Izuku knows. Like, they know more about him than he knows about himself. That's how good they are. And so, anyway, they do the physical. And so Izuku gets the ball, and he launches it. Now Izuku's, like I said, he's stronger than All Might and All For One combined, times 100. He's freaking beast powerful. If he wanted to, he could stop his fall on the ground, and it would destroy the entire continent. That's how powerful he is. I'm making this guy freaking god. But anyway, he throws it, breaks his sound barrier, the entire ball is destroyed, but the last piece of it goes, and it's just traveling through the universe now. So yeah, he also gets infinite, like more than Ochako. Ururaku. And then the next one, like, he just aces everything in it. Like, he's practically the model student that everybody wants to become, but nobody can become because of how freaking powerful he is. Bakugo hates him. Burning passion hate. Like, think of original Deku, but without him bullying him. Like, he wants to try and bully him, but he can't. Like, he tries to, but he always just fails somehow. Like, right before he lands the punch, Izuku just moves out of the way, and it's like he just went to go do another thing. Now, next part will be be the heroes versus villains, the USJ. The last part will be the UI Sports Festival, and then I believe the last one I could do is probably the overhaul arc. I'll probably skip over somehow the you know who I'm talking about, okay? Anyway, gotta go. See ya.